Imagine your bed calling you, a soft, quiet place to rest your head and close your eyes. Your bed is your reward after a long, hard day at work. As you slip between the sheets, surprise! The room fills with loud noise as coworkers, neighbors, and friends climb into bed with you. The world of technology has become so mobile that it has entered our bedrooms. While we should be winding down after a long day at work, we invite the world in bed with us as we go on social media, check emails, respond to text messages, or play one last game, which we know is not going to be one last game. Before you know it, you have been in bed for over an hour, and although your body is tired, your brain is not. Our phones, TVs, laptops, tablets are invading our bedrooms, and they are keeping us awake. In an article titled Power Down in WebMD.com, it states TVs, computers, and other blue light sources should be turned off 1 hour before bedtime. I was curious after reading this that why we needed to have blue light sources off before we go to bed and the science behind it. In my research, I discovered that blue light is everywhere. Its main source is the sun. Our body has an inner clock that responds to daylight hours as a time to be awake. And as the sun sets, our body responds to the lesser light as a time to wind down and go to bed. Blue light source is a strong light, and all electronics have it. By looking at our electronics at bedtime, we disrupt our inner natural clock and trick our brain into being awake. According to an article written in 2015 in Scientific American, quote, recent studies have shown that shifts in this clock can have devastating health effects because it controls not only our wakefulness, but also individual clocks that dictate function in the body's organs, end quote. While the body sleeps, the brain is at work removing toxins that have accumulated throughout the day. In another article written 4 years ago in Live Science, quote, the brain has limited energy at its disposal, and it appears that it must choose between two different functional states, awake and aware, or asleep and cleaning up, end quote. So if our quality of sleep is down, then so is the quality of our wakefulness. What exactly is affected? I learned in Help Guide that our emotional balance, brain and heart health, and our immune system are a few of the things that are affected. I decided after learning about these things that I would give it a try and turn off all blue light sources an hour before going to bed. This caused me to plan ahead a little because of taking online courses. I find myself slipping into bed minutes after turning in an assignment. So I had to plan ahead, and I also didn't realize how much I depended on my phone and that I did all the very things that the articles that I read said not to do. So after a week of not looking at blue light sources an hour before going to bed, I noticed that I had higher levels of concentration in my studies, and I was able to stay on my tasks pretty good, which I thought was amazing. Some people think that all they need is 7 to 9 hours of sleep and they don't have to worry about this 1 hour rule. Although 7 to 9 hours of sleep is the recommended amount for adults, for most adults, I learned in Help Guide that it's the quality of those 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If we retire looking at blue light sources, then we jeopardize the quality of our much needed sleep cycle. Our body's time clock is tracking the hours that we're awake and tracking the hours that are asleep, trying to determine when we should be awake and aware and when we should be asleep and having toxins removed. So looking at blue light sources, we disrupt the quality of our sleep and we confuse those proper functions. If you need suggestions on what to do, how to wind down, I would suggest getting a real book. You can find them on a bookshelf at your house or in the library. I personally like to read scriptures, and that helps me wind down and relaxes me. I also like keeping journals. I like to journal about things that I've accomplished or things that I wish to accomplish. I also like keeping a thankful journal. It certainly puts a smile on my face as I think of the things that I am truly thankful for. So in conclusion, in order for us to get a proper rest, we need to put our electronics out of reach and out of sight. Giving our brain and body a chance to function at full capacity the next day, I believe, is worth 1 hour of blue lights out before going to bed. So remember tonight, when you go to bed, friends, coworkers, and neighbors are not invited.